the National Union of Teachers, which represents more than 400,000 classroom teachers, have voted to take industrial action over pay and conditions. On the line now is Martin Powell-Davies, the London Regional Secretary for the NUT. Martin, thanks so much for talking to us.
No problem. Hi again, Eddie.
Give us the numbers. I like numbers. How high was the vote in favour of a yes to strike?
92% of those voting, and I think there would be many MPs who'd be glad to get a majority like that.
And what exactly is the issue?
We say as a union that enough is enough. We've got a responsibility to act. London schools face cuts of up to 20% in their budgets, and teacher shortages right across the capital are putting children's education at risk. People are being driven out by 70-hour working weeks, by the housing shortage, and so we say that we've got to take action to defend education and our paying conditions.
So that's a lot of things. And, you know, if institutions, organisations, and I thought education was ring-fenced, but I guess in real terms it's not, right? If they are having to undergo austerity measures, why would education be any different?
We would hope that people realise you need to invest in the future. You've been talking about children, about their health. We want to know about what children have got for their future in terms of education. If you cut education, if you get rid of staff, if you put bigger class sizes, then clearly...
But they're not getting rid of staff. They're having difficulty recruiting, but they're not getting rid of staff, are they, if we're honest?
If you've got, as a borough like Hackney faces, a 20% budget cut over the next few years, then absolutely there are going to be swinging cuts, and that can only be done. You can only make those kind of cuts by cutting staff numbers in quite a big way. And that is what schools are preparing to do.
You see, I'm a Hackney kid, and I went to Upton House, and I got knocked down, right? So I know Hackney, and historically Hackney's education system has been appalling, and it's just sorted itself out in the last, I would say, decade to 15 years. Now, look, you know, I do all sorts of things on this show. One of the things I do is that I laud the education system in London, because it's now being used as a model that's being transported all around the country.
Absolutely.
So how is it that you're able to identify somewhere and say to me it isn't all that good?
No, that's not what I'm saying at all. Absolutely. London schools are an absolute success. We want to keep them that way. What we're saying is that the government are saying two things, that they are going to freeze spending just at a time when costs are going up in national insurance and pensions and so on, and they're going to try and bring in a funding formula, which means taking money out of London and giving it to other areas of the country. And the calculations show that a fifth of the budget of a school in Hackney could be cut by 2020. We can't sit back and let that happen, as you say.
How hopeful are you?
Defending.
How hopeful are you that you have the support of parents?
I'm sure we do, and as I say, on the day itself, we'll be striking, obviously, and we appreciate that will cause some disruption, and we're sorry that it does. But we would say to those parents, you know, it's everyone's education at stake, so come and join us. We're going to be marching through the middle of town. We're going to be having a rally at Parliament Square at 1:30 in the afternoon of the Tuesday. Come and join us. Let's march together for education.
And what do you think you'll change?
I think that the government needs to take notice that if they already had to take some notice over their academies policy, unfortunately not enough, it's an issue alongside the health service that I think Londoners feel really strongly about, and I hope that together we can make the government listen.
Martin, thank you so much for talking to us. We'll talk again. That's Martin Powell-Davies, who's a London NUT Regional Secretary. In case you didn't hear the headline on that, teachers in England are to stage a one-day strike on the 5th of July.